Welcome into VA Memorial Stadium. Shane Combs here with Dewey Daly. Dewey Daly's taking care of some technical difficulties as things get started just a little 4 to 5 minutes before the regular scheduled first pitch. And just like that, on 3 straight pitches, down goes Piketon leadoff hitter Zach Hanna. Right-hander Braden West here for Lynchburg-Clay. On the mound, 2-hole hitter Buddy Wilson, the center fielder for Piketon. Outstanding athlete, handles the bat extremely well. West starts a little off-speed their way and dribbles it foul there, strike one. Again, been raining in the forecast most of the day. It's been drizzling. I know over in Logan, I'll tell you a little bit more about the Division IV result. Uniota run-ruled New Lex 11-0, and they played through rain most today. And it's been that kind of weather pattern here, so certainly could impact a little bit. Another swing and miss on another breaking pitch. 0-2, certainly going to factor into the game a little bit today in terms of the wet ball and the wet turf and the way the ball reacts. 0-2 delivery. Another off-speed, fouls it back, and Dewey, I think we got you back in here.
Yeah, had to show my commitment to the broadcast.
I'll say you're working a lot harder than I am. Makes me feel bad. Another 0-2 delivery. Again, stays with the off-speed pitch and just misses the third base bag there. Goes foul. Good two-strike hitting from Wilson as he stays alive. Again, Wilson runs really well. Anything top half here where he hits the ball on the ground, going to be a tough out for the Mustangs. Dude, I was saying, you probably get a good sense of it there running out there, that just enough rain where it's certainly not going to stop play as the ball gets away there a little bit, ball one. It's not going to be a huge factor, but certainly going to impact the game a little bit in terms of the wet ball and the wet turf throughout the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see I got a little bit wet on my way out there. The center field camera is seemingly a little off center as the 1-2 misses down and away, but it should be good enough to get us through at least the beginning of this game. As we got off to a little bit of an early start. I believe it was about a 3:56 first pitch. Two now from Weston there. Strike three called. 2 down here in the top of the first.
Yeah, steady diet of off speed throughout the entire bat. That time he goes a little harder on the outside corner and kind of freezes him up a little bit. Good pitch sequence.
So now the shortstop, Jace Ritchie. 27 games, Jace Ritchie batting .314 on the season, 5 doubles, 19 RBI, leads the team in that category.
West doing a good job coming right at the Piketon hitters. 3 first pitch strikes.
Out of the windup now, West comes home with the 0-2 pitch, ground ball right side, Asher Faust plays it straight on, pitch over to first, inning over. 3 up, 3 down for Braden West. Bottom half of the first coming up here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
We welcome you back to Chillicothe. The echoing is actually a little bit worse, so we'll work on getting that fixed. But bottom of the first here in Chillicothe, Braylon Oliver on the mound for the Redstreaks.
Yeah, Oliver, a nice athlete throughout the year. given quite a few innings for Coach Teeters and the Redstreaks. Usually come right out the hitter. 35 strikeouts through 30 innings pitched, and certainly capable. Kind of a unique release point, something the first time through the order, oftentimes difficult to pick up, so that'll be something to watch here to see how Lynchburg picks up the ball here this first trip through the batting order. I always feel like this first inning on this stage is really, really important, just trying to help everybody settle in a little bit, especially if you're the team that's quote-unquote the underdog. Oftentimes just the ability to survive that first inning, let your pitcher settle in. Obviously you're facing the top of the order of the other team, so that makes it that much more difficult. But if you're able to survive that first inning and then settle in a little bit, a lot of times it puts you in a position to be very successful.
Leading off for the Mustangs, center fielder number 11, Josiah.
Alrighty, so the center fielder Josiah Burns will lead things off this afternoon for Lynchburg-Clay. Burns, the left-hitting center fielder, batting .413 on the season, 6 doubles, has left the yard once, 15 home runs, a district honorable mention in Division V. Slated to be the 11th appearance of the season for Braylon Oliver. As it stands, 30 1/3 innings pitched, a 3-2 record, 2.08 ERA, 35 strikeouts for Braylon Oliver. 2-0 to Burns, misses upstairs, 3 balls and no strikes to the Mustangs leadoff man.
A little bit of what I was talking about here in the pregame about how just the first inning is so important, just to be able to settle in, control the nerves a little bit. You see the good patience here from Burns in the leadoff spot.
Four-pitch walk for Josiah Burns, leadoff man aboard for Lynchburg-Clay. Now the opposing pitcher, Braden West.
I like the visit here from the catcher. Just go out, try to calm the right-hander down a little bit. Like I said, you get on this stage, you get amped up a little bit. Sometimes you just need to see that first called strike.
And Shane, obviously Lynchburg-Clay, the #1 seed in the Division V Southeast District Tournament. That kind of speaks for itself when you say, what are we going to get from this team? Now, for Piketon, the #12 seed, you've seen them twice this season. What can we expect to see from this Jonathan Teeters-led Redstreaks squad?
Well, they're scrappy, but it's really important that they stay in this thing early because they're the type of offense that can really get at you with some small ball and put a lot of pressure, but it really makes it difficult if they fall behind here early.
Burns off from first. Throw from Roberts is off the mark and into center field. So a stolen base for Josiah Burns.
Yeah, extremely aggressive, good jump. You tell that was scouted out in terms of what they wanted to do. And again, the biggest thing for Piketon here is Oliver's ability just to take a deep breath here and find the strike zone, get settled in.
Umpires this afternoon, a 3-man crew. Trevor Donini, Bruce Davis, and Rick Barrera.
Good crew, as you'd expect at this level.
Oliver now from the stretch. Here's the 0-1. Misses upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Braden West.
Again, going to get the mound visit here. And again, that's the urgency you see in the tournament play that maybe you wouldn't see in the regular season. After the first batter, the catcher goes out, and now just 2 pitches in. I believe scoreboard's not correct, right? 2-0 is what they have the count, or is that?
We'll have to check on that. I believe the best thing we can do is go off of the score. I believe that is also what we have is 1-1.
Okay. But nonetheless, you'll see the early visit here. That's the urgency of tournament play. So I like the move from Coach Teeters here if he's trying to go out and just get him settled in.
So it is, in fact, 2 balls and no strikes to Braden West. Leadoff man in scoring position, larger lead for Burns at second base. Now Burns takes off from third, pitches a called strike, throw down to third is not in time. So 2 stolen bags after the 4-pitch walk for Burns, and he's on third base just 90 feet away from the opening run this afternoon.
Well, you get a take right off the bat here on what Burns can do to spark his offense. Gets the 4-pitch walk and takes second, now takes third, and puts his team in a great position to play out in front.
So 2 balls and 1 strike now for Braden West. Oliver now comes home. Line drive straight away, center field. Wilson brings it in. Tagging from third is Burns. Throw to the plate is in time. Out at the plate. What a catch and throw in center field for Buddy Wilson, as this game remains scoreless here in the bottom of the first.
Outstanding. What a great pick-me-up for the Redstreaks. You know, you get the speedy Burns, takes 2 bags with the stolen base, and then what you think in this ballpark would be plenty deep enough. Just a great catch, great arm, plays a perfect bounce right off the turf, and give a lot of credit on this wet turf, looking it in and getting the 2 hands down on the tag. Big time pick-me-up for Piketon when you talk about settling in.
Now the shortstop, Cole Wells. He's by far one of the most electric players on the field here this afternoon. Shane, that bottom of the first inning to begin the district tournament, very similar to how we ended the district tournament here last year with Fairland and Huntington in that district final.
Certainly was an electric play as well, but you're right, almost the exact same. I believe that throw ended up coming from right field, if I remember.
So Cole Wells, senior shortstop for the Mustangs, hitting .618 on the season, getting on base 73% of the time. He's got 5 doubles, a triple, and 5 home runs. 2-0 on the outside corner, called strike. 34 RBI as well for the senior. First team all-district without saying, committed to Thomas More back in February.
Very experienced group for Lynchburg. A lot of these names you've heard for several years now.
3 balls and 1 strike to Cole Wells. Shane, with a batter as dangerous as Cole Wells, how do you approach the senior with a count that you've fallen behind in?
Well, in this case, with nobody on, you'd like to stay semi-aggressive in terms of not walking him, because, you know, you still give yourself a chance to get him out. Now, if it was more of an RBI situation, first base open, those are things in your scouting report you kind of pick out going into, like, this is one guy we're not going to let beat us. So, yeah, you're trying to hit your spot and be careful here, but in this case, nobody on, 2 outs. I'd say they'll still be fairly aggressive coming after him.
Payoff pitch on the way from Oliver. This one popped up. Shallow right center, Wilson and Fout charging in. And it'll be Wilson to make the acrobatic catch for the 3rd out of the inning. The Redstreaks defense was challenged, but they got out of the inning unscathed. We're scoreless through 1. Top of the 2nd coming up here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan
of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Top of the second, back here at VA Memorial Stadium. Braden West back onto the mound for the Mustangs. Shane, I don't know how much pre-gaming you did for Braden West on the mound. I know I was still hustling back in from center field, but if you didn't get to it, I'll just go ahead and quickly go over it.
No,
Braden
no
West,
numbers. I
okay.
gave some basic
Okay.
comments. Go ahead and hit the numbers there.
I was going to say this is going to be the 9th appearance of the season for Braden West. Was at 38, but now 39 innings pitched for the senior. A 4-1 record. I'm sure this is under 2 now, but prior to the game, a 2.02 ERA, barely averaging a walk and hit per inning, and I believe now up to 51 strikeouts on the season.
Yeah, good mix of hard stuff and off speed. We ended up seeing a little bit of both of those in the first inning. Going to come right at you. First pitch strike. See how Piketon handles it. Good news for the SBC over at Logan today. Uniota wins 11-0 in 5, and they not only get the win, but they also do it with Perkins staying under the 50 pitches. They were able to go to Sanders, so both Perkins and Sanders available come Thursday in the championship for them. I'll have some Uniota details for you throughout the day, but again, congratulations, Coach Taylor and his Shermans.
And I don't believe they're in action today, but the girls' side of the spring sports season has been excellent for the Piketon Redstreaks.
Oh, no question. One of the best teams really in certainly the last couple decades. Nice job filling the position there.
Chopper up the middle, Braden West for the 1-3 putout to begin the second inning. How often do you stress the PFPs in practice?
Well, in the first month for sure. High school baseball, you kind of get cheated with some practice time during the season because it's just kind of hectic. But yeah, in the first month in that preseason, you stress it a bunch. And what an advantage to have an athlete on the mound that becomes an extra defender.
Now the right fielder Wade Fout strides in. 250 average, 6 extra base hit, 9 RBI for Wade Fout. 1-0, a breaking ball in there for a called strike, 1-1.
Really takes away a lot of Piketon's strengths when you get that first guy out. Coach Teeters will utilize the bunt and the speed game throughout the entire order.
It's actually 0-2 now, 1-2 to the right fielder, Fout. One ball and 2 strike out of the windup. West delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Caught cleanly behind the plate for Faust. 2 away.
Yeah, the ability to get ahead just opens up the entire arsenal. We'll see if how Piketon is able to adjust. A lot of it is they've been up there swinging first pitch, just unable to get it barreled up. West doing a good job throwing multiple pitches for strikes.
Now the third baseman, Mason Roberts. First pitch swinging this one out of the stadium to the right side.
Yeah, going back to that first inning, the throw there from Wilson, just it's such an incredible just uplift. Not only the one run, what that leads to just in terms of the spark it sends into your dugout.
Roberts, a chopper left side coming in from the bag is Quinn Wells, the freshman to first base, is in time. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Braden West. As the Redstreaks go down in order, we'll step aside bottom half of the second. Here in Chillicothe, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Bottom of the second inning back here at VA Memorial Stadium. 4-5-6 due up for the Mustangs. Christian Flowers, Quinn Wells, and Trevin Niehaus for the number 1 seeded Lynchburg-Clay Mustangs. No hits yet. It's been a pitching matchup but throughout the first 1.5 innings here at VA Memorial Stadium.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Oliver settles in here in second inning. First inning had trouble finding the zone, and again, we highlighted a couple times now the Buddy Wilson catch and throw from center field helps the right-hander settle in a little bit, and then he gets the fly out to end the inning. Let's see this inning if he's able to work out in front a little bit more against the heart of the order. Very, very talented group here, 1 through 9 for the Mustangs.
So the right-hitting third baseman, Christian Flowers. .352 average, 3 doubles, does have a home run on the season, along with 23 RBI in just 20 games. Of course, the winner of our first game here in Chillicothe will take on the winner of Portsmouth and Northwest. That game slated for a 6:30 start time later on this evening. And as of now, obviously, it's been a pretty hectic spring season with all of the weather-related cancellations. As of now, the district final for the winner of this game and this evening's game slated for this Thursday down at OU at 7 p.m.
Yeah, with the new divisions, it's kind of new to all of us in terms of some of the scheduling, some of the different facilities that they're going to use. But again, a lot of positives, a lot of things happening for spring sports that I think have been a long time coming.
2 balls and 1 strikes now to Christian Flowers. And Shane, obviously the divisional expansion was a big talking point in the winter sports season. How do you feel it is translated here in the spring?
Well, I think it's a lot of the same stuff as you get to swing and miss there. I feel like the main purpose of it was to help split up the bigger schools, the Division I, the 2, and 3. But then it allows us to stretch out a little bit where maybe before we've only had that 2, 3, 4. Now we're able to go more into a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It just gives a little bit more parity, gets more teams on this stage.
2-2 in there for a called strike. 1 down here in the second.
Well, and you can see a huge difference in the body language of Oliver and really the Piketon players. Again, as you survive something in the first inning like they did, you feel like you're getting a chance to hit the start over button, right? You get off to the bad start in your video game and I'm no good, start that over. Piketon truly got a do-over in a way, and you can really see it in their body language settling in much better this inning.
Now the freshman third baseman, Quinn Wells, he's first pitch swinging to the right side of the infield. This one out of the stadium, 0-1 to begin the at-bat for Quinn Wells. Shane Wells, just a freshman in 21 games. The freshman hitting .456, along with 4 doubles, 3 triples, and 40 RBI, leads the team in RBIs this season.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about him coming up through junior high with this upperclassman. Very, very talented. They were excited to put this young man with them.
Hard hit line drive right at the center fielder, Buddy Wilson. He's been busy here in the first inning and 2/3.
Well, people ask me a lot of times, hey, how good are you defensively? And I say it depends on where you hit it. So far, I assume Coach Teeters will take as many fly balls and line drives to center field as they want to hit.
So now the right fielder, Trevor Niehaus. Niehaus also first pitch swinging this one straight back, 0-1 for the right fielder.
Yeah, much more aggressive from Oliver, filling up the zone earlier in the counts. I think it was the first 4 batters of the game really working behind here, the last couple able to get out in front of them.
.01 popped up towards the Redstreak dugout. Both Roberts and Hanna pull off at the last second. Either way, 0-2 now to Niehaus.
Yeah, such a tough play at this level. You have two pretty experienced kids there getting all the way over there. Probably had one more step and just come up a little short on it.
We had a catch in the regular season. I can't think of the catcher's name, but it was Oak Hill, player pretty much 1 or 2 steps into the dugout to make the play. It was outstanding. Oh-2 now from Oliver. Swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down. The Mustangs down in order. Top of the third here in Chillicothe. Scoreless between Piketon and Lynchburg. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Back here in Chillicothe, Braden West slated for his 3rd inning of work. As for both teams, Shane, it's been 6 up, 6 down. Still without a hit. We did have the 1 walk for Lynchburg back in the 1st inning, but what an outstanding and exciting way to kick off the game defensively for Piketon to ultimately shut that one down with a runner on third base, nobody out, and the Redstreaks defense able to get out of it scoreless.
Well, it was because Burns in the leadoff spot there for Lynchburg-Clay, as he's done all year. He gets on and he causes complete chaos, stealing second, stealing third, and then the line drive to center field. He throws him out at the plate, and it's just changed the whole momentum. But West has been outstanding so far for Lynchburg on the hill.
So the designated hitter, Kendon Day, will lead things off for Piketon.
I believe that's the first pitch strike to every Piketon batter to this point in the game.
Day now down in the count, 0-2. Day batting .214 on the season. Does have a pair of extra base hits. 0-2 from Wells off the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I'd say Coach Teeters probably understood their best opportunity to give themselves a chance today is to play the low-scoring game. So he's very excited about the pitching.
Inside on Kendon Day, catches his left elbow. Leadoff man aboard for the first time this afternoon for Piketon.
Well, now that starts something here that I think Piketon does really, really well. Let's see how they handle this here. Most likely going to be a bunt situation. You'll see Piketon handle the bat in about 6-7 different parts of their order, and they'll bunt the ball pretty well.
Boddicker squares around right back to the pitcher. That one was off the ground, and that should be a double play. No man's land for Day at first base. Rushed back to the bag, but West caught it on the hop over to first base for the 1-3 double play. That's got to be pretty uncommon.
Well, it's completely impossible for the base runner in a lot of ways there because you're going off and the ball goes in the air. I think they're trying to discuss, was the ball down?
From up here, Shane, it looked like it caught the turf.
Yeah, I agree. It looked like it was trapped, and it kind of put the base runner in no man's land, not knowing if the ball was caught.
And truthfully, Shane, even if caught in the air, it looked like the force out would have had him out either way.
Yeah, well, I think what they were saying was if it came down and they threw it to first base, then there needed to be a tag at that point. But I think he did both, so I don't think it was going to matter.
You said it best, an impossible situation for Day at first base. You don't know where to go.
Yeah, and again, kind of star that one in the book there a little bit because that's usually something Piketon does pretty well. You here at the bottom of the order, you kind of get a gift base runner with the hit by pitch and then unable to execute there in the small ball. I know that's one Coach Teeters would like to have back.
So the left fielder, Gavin Blanton, shoots this one right over the second baseman, Asher Faust. 2 out, base knock for Blanton. First hit of the ball game.
Yeah, just goes with it. A nice spark from the bottom of the order here, and gives Piketon a chance to maybe go with 2 outs.
So back to the top of the order now for the Redstreaks. Zach Hanna. First pitch, a breaking ball in on the hands, 1-0 to begin the at-bat for Hanna.
Big ballpark here. You give your best player a chance to swing there. 2 outs off on contact. Maybe find the gap here. Give you an opportunity.
Hanna, the left-hitting first baseman. .356 on the season with 5 extra base hits. First team all-district selection in Division V. Blanton takes off from first, and off the mark throw from Faust. And a stolen base for Blanton.
Seemed to never have a grip on it. Kind of just came out low and away on him, and easy stolen base. And now, again, even with 2 outs, great opportunity here for Piketon to maybe play out in front.
And Shane, you hear the argument in football, does the rain benefit the defense? Does it make it harder for the offense to operate, or does it make it harder on the offense? It's harder to throw the ball, it's harder to catch the ball. Where do you think the favor lies in baseball?
I think it has to be harder to pitch and defend, isn't it? Certainly some challenges offensively, but nothing like pitching and defense.
2-0 to left field, right at Cody Bell.
Dropped it.
Oh, he dropped it.
Dropped the ball. Yeah, he came in and just dropped it right in front of him. And again, a big break here for Pike that's going to extend the inning.
Started to look down at my sheet to mark up the L7. Now runners on the corners with 2 outs for the Redstreaks. And just what you said, Shane, it makes it harder to pitch and it makes it harder to defend.
The first thing I looked at was it was a very mature play by the catcher. You'll see a lot of people think that's a routine play, and he'll be 6-7 paces to the dugout, and all of a sudden home plate's not covered. He did a good job of finishing the play.
So runners now on the corners for the Redstreaks. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. The center fielder, Buddy Wilson. For Coach Teeter, Shane couldn't have a better guy at the plate. Buddy Wilson, .429 on the season, led the SVC in batting average. Hanna off from first, defensive indifference, no throw or coverage for the Mustangs.
Still wouldn't rule out the bunt for a hit here with the way he handles the bat and the way he runs.
West out of the stretch, the 1-1. Chance for the Redstreaks to strike here in the first half of this afternoon's game. Time called in the box. And Shane, it's a Lynchburg team. They don't give up too many runs. In league play, they go 11-0, a run differential of 118-1.
As they were coming up through, speaking of the older group, the senior class, the Southern Hills League had some depth to it. This year, it's my understanding, not quite the same amount of depth, and they've really kind of separated themselves and really dominated the league top to bottom, particularly with their pitching staff.
On the season, a loss to Clinton Massey and a pair of losses to Unyota for the Mustangs. 2-1 downstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike to Buddy Wilson.
First base open. It'll be interesting to see how much they give in here in the RBI spot.
Wilson has been the Redstreaks' most consistent hitter. 3-1 on the way. Three balls and 2 strikes for Buddy Wilson. Runners on second and third for Piketon here in the top of the 3rd inning. Payoff pitch on the way. Off the plate, that'll load the bases. Shortstop Jace Ritchie coming up for the Redstreaks.
Yeah, really good at bat there. You know, Wilson's obviously been really good here in the early going on both sides, and now the bases loaded opportunity for Jace Ritchie, a second-team All-District player, certainly very capable of putting the Redstreaks out in front. Probably a good visit here, nothing else, just to break the momentum of the inning. You're going back to that Wilson defensive play in the first inning. I've had a lot of people ask me what's one of the biggest differences of playing out here. And one of the first things I talk about is outfield defense. I think that throughout the year on high school fields, especially like this year where you can't mow your grass, a lot of times the grass is thicker, the ball's going to stop, it doesn't carry as much, ballparks aren't as big. This is a really big high school field here. So like you start getting the ball out on the turf into the gaps here and so forth, it's really important. So a kid like Wilson becomes very important defensively, and then they're impacting it with a good at-bat offensively.
So now the shortstop, Jace Ritchie, dunks on the pond, 2 outs here in the third inning. Ritchie checks his swing and fouls it off. And Shane, you talk about the grass. The turf here, it also opens up the 1 or 2 hop throw out of the outfield to stay on target, and skips off the turf, almost speeds it up a little bit.
No question about it. And it seems to me the new turf this year, you've been out here more than me, it seems like it's got a little trampoline effect, maybe a little bit more bounce to it.
0-1 downstairs.
That's some of the feedback I've had from kids and some different things, that have been used to playing here over the years, that the new turf just has a little bit more trampoline effect to it.
I'd say most of that is the old turf being so worn down and beat to the ground. It was almost like old AstroTurf.
Yeah.
It was a rug burn machine, I'll tell you. Playing middle infield, diving for balls, it wasn't the most forgiving.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if you were working as hard back then as you did back at the top of the first today with that effort out to center field and back.
2-1 swung through, evens it up at 2-2 to Ritchie.
Good pitch there. But, again, if you're West here in Lynchburg, I always feel like that 2-2 pitch, the decision pitch we call it, certainly want to avoid the 3-2 count here and starting the runners. Definitely want to come get him here.
West out of the windup. Here's the 2-2 to Jace Ritchie. In there, strike 3 called. Mustangs get out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third. 7-8-9 due up for Lynchburg-Clay. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Bottom of the third here at VA Memorial Stadium. Piketon and Lynchburg scoreless in the first of 2 Division V District Semifinals set to take place this afternoon here in Chillicothe. Shane, we've now seen both pitchers be challenged here in the early goings of this afternoon's matchup, and both defenses have responded well.
Yeah, really have. Obviously, the great defensive play in the first inning there for Piketon, and then give West a lot of credit when he had to make, because not all of that was on him. Obviously, he had to drop fly ball to left field there and so forth, and he was able to battle back and make 2 really good back-to-back pitches to get Ritchie there with the bases loaded. So we saw Piketon's bottom of the order kind of get things started and spark their team a little bit. Now a chance for Lynchburg to do the same here.
So 7-8-9 due up this inning for the Mustangs. Cody Bell to lead things off, followed by Tanner Roberts and Elam Faust. Roberts, a ground ball left side, fielded by Roberts. On to first, one away.
Yeah, Roberts playing well in on the cut there, trying to take the bunt away, and as a result, able to pick that ground ball off and made for an easy play. Other thing with Lynchburg is that they run pretty well throughout their lineup as well. So they have some pop at 3-4 different spots, but at no place in the order do you really see a kid that just doesn't bring a little bit of athleticism. So they can come at you in a lot of different ways offensively.
So now the designated hitter, Tanner Roberts. "19 games, Roberts has hit .435 as a freshman. Another one of those outstanding underclassmen for head coach James Flowers.
Oliver starting to find a good release point on all of his pitches there, working a little bit of the outside corner, trying to stay away from the right-handed hitter.
1-1 to Roberts inside. 2 balls and 1 strikes now for Oliver.
That's the pitch he's having trouble locating, is on the inner half, and he's been up in the zone a little bit. I've noticed over the last inning starting to find this spot a little bit on the outer half.
Oliver now sent to come home with the 3-1. This one popped up straight away right field. Fout moving towards the line brings it in, 2 away.
Big pitch there from Oliver. 3-1 count. You don't want to lose him there at the bottom of the order where you might set up a bunt opportunity, and you get the fly ball to right. Good play out there. We talked nothing's easy in this stuff today. Looking up into this stuff, I guarantee you that's a big out there for Piketon.
So now the 9-hole, Elam Faust. First pitch swinging, fouls it back, 0-1. It's definitely not easy to read a fly ball. Gray skies and rain coming down in your face.
Yeah, I would say you look up and when with the lights, on, maybe not a huge factor yet, but like you said, the skies and the rain and just everything involved. Not your normal routine can of corn today for sure.
And with the district final set to take place on Thursday, it was almost a must play today.
Yeah.
Not a lot of room for error.
Yeah.
There was some talk about potentially setting up a quadruple header tomorrow, as there will obviously be 2 more district finals in Division V tomorrow, same times for both of those games.
Well, with the later baseball season this year, most schools are out or just about ready to be out. That would be doable, but it would take a lot of moving parts, I'm sure.
Tomorrow at 4:30. I believe the 4:30 game is Fairland and Valley, and then the 6 o'clock game is Wellston Wheelersburg.
4 or 4:30? Is it?
I believe it's 4 and 6:30 are the start times.
Okay. No, you're right today. They did start on us about 3:56, and that doesn't sound like a big deal to a lot of people, but I know, if you traveling 45 minutes to an hour away and your son is hitting in the top of the first inning, you may not appreciate that a little bit, but.
Two now from Oliver. This one popped up left side, shallow left field. In from left is Blanton. He makes the grab. 3 up, 3 down once again. No hits for the Mustangs the first time through the order. Outstanding first 3 innings as well on the mound for Braylon Oliver. We'll head to the 4th here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. one very happy 16-year-old granddaughter, and 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Back here in Chillicothe, scoreless through 3 innings. Braden West back onto the mound for Lynchburg-Clay. We mentioned the other district bracket that'll take shape tomorrow afternoon. Now, there is a third district bracket in Division V. Those are being played at Logan tomorrow early afternoon at 2 p.m. It's Zane Trace and Minford, a little rematch of their boys district final basketball game. I believe you were on the call for the radio that afternoon. And then Ironton and South Point, that'll be the rubber match for those two teams coming out of the OVC. That one's slated for 4:30. And once again, those are over at Logan. Shane, I know we've obviously been over there for volleyball, so we know the kind of campus they have over in Chieftain Land. What an outstanding set of facilities they have over at Logan.
No question. I know that's where Uniota was in action today. As we said earlier, they beat New Lex. And then as we call this one, see that nightcap there should have been Westfall Logan Elm, I believe, and then the winner will face Uniota.
And I haven't been there since I played. I believe now the infield has been converted to turf. Now, see, when I played, I think I may have been the last group that played on the dirt infield, but even then it was outstanding.
Yep.
And it's very memorable, as well as you have the, the purple monster, if you will, and right, they've got the brick wall up against the hill. It's a very cool field. The due-up this inning for the Redstreaks, Roberts, Fout, and Mason Roberts. Grayson Roberts to lead things off for Piketon. Roberts flares this one shallow right. Trevor Niehaus in for the first out of the inning.
Well positioned there off the bat. I thought that ball had a chance to be trouble, but right field playing shallow there, and that's a good job from a coaching perspective, getting them lined up where you want them, and then young man comes in and makes a nice play on it.
Now the right fielder, Wade Fout. Down on strikes back in the second inning. Fout now first pitch swinging, sawed off to the right side. The first baseman Flowers to first, and it's not in time. Fout beats it out for an infield single.
Take it any way you can get him. That looked kind of like a little Dewey Daly flop shot there. It hit and just kind of backed up a little bit and hit it in no man's land, used the speed. And again, even with one out, let's see what Coach Teeters has in mind here.
You mentioned the flop shot. I got out to the range yesterday. They are JC's is shutting down for, I think it might be 2 weeks or so. They're getting new grass in, so they are obviously closing while that gets implemented. But a one-out base hit for Wade Fout.
Swinging away here. Again, like I said, Piketon will utilize a lot of small ball, but in this case, one of the bigger bats going to give him a chance to swing it, especially with one out.
368 average for Mason Roberts, 5 doubles, along with 17 RBI. And you mentioned the turf here, Shane, makes extra base hits even more deadly.
Certainly.
0-1 chopped down the third base line and foul. And that's something, Shane, that West has done very well here in the early goings, getting ahead in the count to batters, especially at the top of the order for Piketon.
Yeah, I got him about 85 to 90% first pitch strike. And, now at 0-2, you might look at the running game here if you anticipate off-speed pitch.
0-2 from West, fouled away.
Good two-strike hitting. Live to see another pitch.
Roberts calls time down in the box.
Good job of putting the hand up. He doesn't have to grant him that. So, again, a lot of kids just assume.
0-2 off the plate. Pitch number 50 on the afternoon coming up for Braden West.
Yeah, been pretty efficient to this point. Obviously had the one tough inning extended by a little defensive miscue and then the 2-out walk there in the third inning.
1-2 to Roberts, a breaking ball up around the head area.
You talked about the rain a little bit. I feel like the fastball command has been much better for both pitchers in comparison to the off-speed pitch, which makes sense.
2-2 upstairs, swing and a miss. Fifth strikeout of the afternoon for Braden West.
Yeah, just climbs the ladder a little bit. Throw it up there where there's not a lot he can do with it. Big 2-out spot here.
Now Kendon Day. Day, a leadoff walk an inning ago, really sparked the inning that Piketon had, although scoreless, most definitely threatened. .214 average on the season for Kendon Day.
You do feel like the deeper it goes into the game, a lot of times it starts to put a little bit more pressure on the heavy favorite.
0-1 upstairs. And Shane, I'll tell you what, Derek Webb just walked in here wearing a New York Yankees hat. I'm not really sure how to feel about that.
I mean,
that kind of makes me want to take the headset off, I'll be honest.
Well, some of us just get steered wrong sometimes.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Kendon Day. Runner up from first, foul. Up to second standing. Shane, you talked about the base stealing ability of these Redstreaks.
Well, especially on the off-speed pitch. That's good. That's a good guesswork there. You're always trying to find a pitch you think you can run on. Now, it is 2 strikes, 2 outs, but nonetheless gives you another RBI chance.
A Jason Kipnis-like stance in the box for Kendon Day. 2-2 fouled off. And Shane, as a pitcher, when a batter changes up their stance a little bit, maybe crouches down, scoots towards the plate, how does that affect the psyche of the pitcher?
Well, you hope it doesn't, especially an experienced one like Wes, but again, just the human nature, you look in there and you see something different. You just got to focus on the mitt and the pitch you're trying to execute. 2-2
downstairs. The count is full to Kendon Day.
Well, good at bat here because he threw him a really good 2-2 pitch, and he was able to fight it off and foul it off. Lived to see another pitch, and then now the 3-2 count. Nothing else, maybe extend the inning here.
Looks like we're switching out for some dry baseballs. You know, Shane, every time it rains at a baseball game, I just can't help but think about the Lucas Sims video where he just keeps throwing balls to like, man, I'm not pitching
yeah,
I'm
not throwing that one. Yeah.
Obviously, there's a little more on the line in an MLB game, as 1 home run could be the difference between a contract or no contract.
Yeah.
Now, in Lucas Sims' case, I'm not sure.
Don't tell the Piketon and Lynchburg kids that today in terms of what's on the line for both of them.
Payoff pitch on the way to Dave. Fouled off once again. He's staying alive here in the 4th inning with 2 outs.
Yeah, I just like his approach. His 2-strike approach, shorten up a little bit, try to get a bat to it. He's been able to fight off some good ones, and if nothing else, making West continue to throw some stressful pitches here in an RBI spot.
And Shane, the bottom third of the order has been the most productive for the Redstreaks so far this afternoon. Here's the 3-2. Off the plate. A gritty walk for Kendon Day puts 2 men aboard.
Yeah, great at bat.
Second walk in as many innings for Day. Only player of the game so far to reach base safely a pair of times.
Well, the other thing it does is it continues to move the line, and throughout the course of 7 innings, you're getting your top of the order, maybe another at bat.
Now Tristan Boddicker offers the first pitch from Braden West, 0-1. Oh, and 2 to Boddicker. Boddicker, the player that bunted into the unusual double play an inning ago.
Well, that's probably the biggest offensive play for Piketon so far.
Both runners take off, and Boddicker fouls it off at the plate.
Yeah, shows a little bit of the aggressiveness we're talking about there. Coach Cheater just trying to get some infielders on the move, see if some 2-out contact, maybe make something happen. Other thing you got to be careful in this ballpark when the runner's on the move is the pass ball, because with all the territory back this way, could really result in 2 bases.
No balls and 2 strikes to Tristan Boddicker. Out of the stretch, West delivers. Upstairs, 1-2. And Shane, if nothing else, the Redstreaks' recent approach at the plate going to run up the pitch count for West. Make the Mustangs go into the bullpen a little bit.
Yeah, so far with 2 strikes, they've continued to grind.
Both runners take off. 1-2, a called strike 3 at the plate. That'll end the inning. 6 strikeouts now in 4 innings of work for West. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Back here in Chillicothe, we're scoreless in the bottom of the 4th inning. Top of the order due up for the Mustangs: Josiah Burns, Braden West, and Cole Wells. Shane, so far this afternoon, the Mustangs have not yet stranded a runner for Piketon. They've stranded 5. 3 of them have been in scoring position.
Well, they had the early opportunity in the 1st inning where Burns, who's going to lead this inning off, was able to get the walk, still 2nd, still 3rd, and then we had the great outfield play from Wilson. Other than that, Oliver's really settled in. He's been pretty sharp. And credit the Piketon outfield defense with Blanton, Wilson, and Fout. Just off the top of my head, I think they've had, about 5 or 6 of the 9 outs, or at least been involved in them. So pretty important part of your 6 of the 9. So just nice steady play from them out there, and then Oliver's been able to settle in. But this is going to be a big test here. This is a big batter coming up here because Burns has already been able to show off his speed on the bases a little bit. So this becomes a really important leadoff man.
The Redstreaks infield has not had a lot of work through 3 innings. Just 1 of the 9 putouts has been the result of a ground ball in the infield or a pop fly in the infield. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Josiah Burns. We mentioned Burns' .413 average on the season. led off the game with a walk for the Mustangs. Now 2 balls and 1 strike to the left-hitting center fielder.
Yeah, it looked like from our vantage point here that he was going to call time there and then realized it was getting late and he kept the hand on the bat.
Two 2-1 smoke deep to right field. Fount giving chase, and this one a one-hop the wall. Stand up, lead off double for Josiah Burns. His 7th of the season.
Pretty good defense out there in right field. Off the bat, I thought that was going to be 3 for sure, just based on watching the young man run earlier. But did a nice job of getting to it in a hurry and getting it back in. And again, probably maybe with 1 out or 2 outs, you're a little bit more aggressive there. But early in the inning here, certainly with 2, 3, 4 coming up, don't want to make that first out over here at third.
The pitcher now, Braden West. Zach Hanna plays up the first base line.
Burns was able to swipe third back in the first inning here. Oliver uses a couple different just leg lifts there from the stretch. One where he turns and kind of looks at him a little bit.
Out of the stretch, the 1-0 from Oliver. This one popped down the left field line and foul. The double for Burns, Shane, the first hit of the afternoon for Lynchburg-Clay, and it's been an outstanding outing for Oliver.
Yeah, if you're West here, you'd love to drive him in, but you want to make a productive out if you do get out, move him over to third, get that speedy Burns over there to third base. Burns causes so much trouble out there. If you watch the middle infielders trying to figure out where they want to play the hitter while still trying to keep the runner close, causes a lot of problems.
Pitch number 43 for Oliver. Up and in, 2 balls and 1 strike to West. Stick around, game 2 of our doubleheader in the Division V District Tournament coming up later this evening, Northwest and Portsmouth. 2-1 to the plate, a called ball. Actually, it looked like a late strike call. Either way, Burns slides into third safely.
Yeah, when he guesses correctly on that move back to second base, if Oliver's not going to second base, he has no chance against the speedy Burns, and that changes the entire inning now with nobody out.
Infield plays in for Piketon. 2-2 to West. On the outside corner, strike 3 call. Huge strikeout for Oliver. His 3rd of the afternoon.
Well, it's what we've talked about. Oliver's been pretty good with the command of the outside part of the plate. He's struggled on the inner half, and he's been up in the zone a little bit. But so far, when he's needed it, he's been able to paint that outside corner, and that's a big strike out there. They'll keep the defense in now with 1 out.
Now the shortstop, Cole Wells. Wells' first pitch swinging, chops it down the third base line and foul. Shane, this is something we talked about back in the first inning. Now it is an RBI opportunity. First base is open. How do you pitch a player like Cole Wells?
Well, now I do think it changes a little bit. You're certainly going to try your best to make him hit something off the plate there. You don't have to give in, because most of the time these types of hitters are anxious in this situation to come through.
0-1 gets past the catcher, Roberts. Burns streaking in from third. It's 1-0 Lynchburg.
Well, that's certainly the danger of doing exactly what we're talking about is where you normally would throw that pitch. Maybe you're going to miss a little bit more against the hitter like this, and that one just gets away from him a little bit. And pretty good effort trying to kick out there to block that one, but on the wet turf just gets by, and that's an easy run.
And you mentioned the bounciness of the turf. It's not going to bounce the same here at the VA than it would at a normal grass and dirt baseball field.
Mm-hmm.
So the base is empty, 1-0. Lynchburg leads Piketon. 1-1 misses down low, 2 balls and 1 strike to the shortstop, Cole Wells.
Well, now if you're Piketon, you just got to be able to reset in a hurry. You know, you dodged a bullet where you should have probably given up a run in the first inning. You didn't. This time you do. The 1 run keeps you right in a position to be in this thing into the later innings, but you got to be able to reset and get a good hitter out here.
2-1, chopped left side and foul once again. Two balls and 2 strikes to Wells. The first baseman, Christian Flowers, awaits on deck for the Mustangs. Oliver now comes home with the 2-2. Line drive straight away center. Coming in is Buddy Wilson, who makes the grab. Couple of hard hit balls straight at Wilson in center for the Mustangs.
No question. He hit that right on the screws, but again, you hit it right at him, and Piketon outfield defense to this point in the game, I think, has been the defensive story, along with Oliver, of course, doing a good job. I think the outfield defense for the Redstreaks has been outstanding, which again I highlighted as a real importance in this ballpark.
Now the first baseman, Flowers, down on strikes in the second inning. Called strike, 1-1.
Thing I like about Oliver, he just stays with it. You know, I mean, he's pitched behind in the count quite a bit today, but he just kind of stays stubborn with his stuff and competes really hard for Coach Teeters and his guys.
Been fairly efficient as well. Pitch 53 coming in from Oliver. Two-one popped right side down the right field line and out of play.
Really, with the pitch count, the other thing that gets overlooked way too much is how much the defense impacts the pitch count. And so far today, Piketon turns the 1 double play in the first 3 innings, and they, on my card, have not made an error yet. Had 1 foul ball, fly ball over by the dugout that possibly could have been made, but certainly would have been a plus play at the high school level. Overall, been pretty good defensively.
Two strikes and 2 balls to the batter, Flowers. Oliver comes home with a breaking ball upstairs. The count is now full.
Big pitch for Oliver here. You got 2 outs. You don't want to extend the inning and give Lynchburg any more opportunity. 1-0 again. Nothing hurt right here. But again, you want to be able to close the door and get your offense back in the dugout.
Payoff pitch on the way. This one pops straight up in on the infield. And nobody comes under it to make the play. Miscommunication between Zach Hanna and Jace Ritchie. Falls in for a 2-out base hit.
Yeah, went up, and Ritchie came in, and when he looked up, you could tell by his body language he couldn't find it. And at that point, it was too late.
First hit of the day for Christian Flowers, just the second for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
As high as that ball was hit, Piketon's fortunate that the base runner's not at second.
So now the impressive freshman third baseman, Quinn Wells. Roberts at third plays in for the Redstreaks.
just that I said the Piketon defense has aided him in the pitch count. Now it's a time for Oliver to pick his defense up. They extend the inning on him a little bit here. Maybe not statistically an error, but certainly all the same.
Check swing from Wells, catches a piece of the bat, evens it up at 1-1.
Yeah, that's what's always funny about baseball stats and so forth. When you see these pitching lines and you see batting averages, you know, sometimes it's just whatever the ball wants to do.
So Grayson Roberts out to the mound to talk things over with Braylon Oliver. Lynchburg has broken the scoring column. They lead Piketon 1-0 here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Inning not over yet for the Mustangs. They've got a man on with 2 outs. Middle part of the order for Lynchburg-Clay as well. Oliver now with the 2-1. Misses down low, 3 balls and 1 strike to Wells.
Yeah, just misses. It's been a pitch that he's been going to when he needs one. Let's see if he goes back out there.
Pitch number 60 on the way, a called strike. Full count now for the freshman.
Got the 3-2, 2 outs is where they're going to start to run. Our defense has got to communicate and hold their spots here. Play will be at 1 most likely.
Payoff from Oliver. Fouled off by Wells, staying alive here in the 4th. Three-2 popped up. Straight away left field, Gavin Blanton calls it off and brings it in for the final out of the inning. Mustangs on the board first. They lead Piketon 1-0. Top of the 5th coming up here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here in Chillicothe, Lynchburg-Clay leading Piketon 1-0, top of the 5th inning in this afternoon's Division V District Semifinal. The first of 2 set to take place today here at VA Memorial Stadium, with Portsmouth and Northwest squaring off for the second time this season, a slated start time for 6:30. Braden West back onto the mound for Lynchburg-Clay, slated for his 5th inning of work. He's held the Redstreaks scoreless through 4 innings on just 2 hits.
Over on the offensive side for Lynchburg, Josiah Burns has been the story. He walks, still second, still third, then gets thrown out at the plate the first time through, but that second time able to double and then still third and scoring the wild pitch, and that's been the offense to this point.
Bottom of the order to lead things off for the Redstreaks. Then it's back to the top. Gavin Blanton, Zach Hanna, and Buddy Wilson, the do-up for Piketon. Up and into Blanton. He's responsible for one of the 2 Redstreaks hits through 4 innings.
Yeah, really a tough out. He's a good double leadoff man in the 9-hole for Coach Teeters. That time he might have extended the strike zone on 2-0 a little bit.
Two-one from West.
Couple Redstreak faithful didn't love the outside corner call there.
2-2 on the way, called strike 3. Seventh of the afternoon for West.
Good job by West battling back there. He falls behind 2-0. Certainly don't want to walk the leadoff hitter, especially when it's the 9-hole at the top of the order coming up. He battles back, gets a strikeout.
Back to the top of the order now for the Redstreaks with Zach Hanna. So far this afternoon, Hanna 0 for 2. Strikeout in the first, reached on error in the third. Hard hit ground ball to the right side, brought in by Faust. Easy pitch and catch to first base, 2 away.
Yeah, as that ball was making its way through the turf there to second base, you can see just how wet it is out there. Good job making sure you get a good grip and making a good throw.
Second base is one of the easier positions to play in the range. Just short-handed over there, nice little push throw. Shortstop, third base, even catcher, anywhere you got to rear back to let it go. Makes it a little more difficult to deliver the ball accurately.
Especially when you get someone with some speed getting on that line, it really gets that internal clock moving, and you're right, it does. It certainly adds to the difficulty.
Buddy Wilson now 0 for 1 with a walk. We mentioned coming into tonight, a .429 average for the senior. One hard hit to the third baseman, Quinn Wells. Diving effort to put a cap on the top of the 5th inning. Another scoreless 1-2-3 inning for Braden West. Bottom of the 5th coming up here in Chillicothe, 1-0 Lynchburg. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium here in Chillicothe. It's 1-0 Lynchburg over Piketon. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Mustangs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Trevor Niehaus, Cody Bell, and Tanner Roberts. That due up 0 for 3 the first time through the order for the Mustangs.
Feel a little pressure for Piketon here from the standpoint of you probably can't afford to give any more. The way West has been able to settle in, if you're Piketon offense, you're down to 6 outs remaining. Obviously at 1-0, you feel like you're right there with an opportunity at all times. A second run would go a long way in giving the Mustangs a little cushion here.
So the right fielder, Trevor Niehaus, to lead things off for Coach Flowers and the Lynchburg-Clay Mustangs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Braylon Oliver back onto the mound for what will be his 5th inning of work. And Shane, the game not over yet, but what a chance Braylon Oliver has given the Piketon Redstreaks to just compete in this game.
Yeah, no question. He's been plenty good enough, and he's fought himself through some command issues here and there. He's made some pitches when he's had to. But, yeah, so far to this point, he's been plenty good enough to give Piketon every opportunity.
Oliver now behind in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Now comes home. It's been a masterclass starting pitching performance on both sides of the baseball. 2-1 fouled away.
Another example here. He falls behind 2-0. He comes back when he has to have it, evens it at 2-2. Let's see on a decision pitch. Again, Lynchburg would love to get that leadoff man on. Gives you so many more options in the inning when you're trying to create that second run.
Oliver now comes home with the 2-2. Payoff pitch on the way. Downstairs, a leadoff walk for Niehaus.
Yeah, really a mature at bat from the sophomore Niehaus. Just kind of went up there wanting to work the count. He was able to do it. Gets to the 3-2 count and able to lay off one just below the zone. And let's see how Coach Flowers will play this one here.
Shane, Prospect League Baseball set to kick off tonight. Chillicothe Paints are on the road to begin the 2025 campaign with a pair of games tonight and tomorrow morning, 7 p.m. at Johnstown tonight and 11 a.m. against the Mill Rats tomorrow. Back here in Chillicothe for the home opener this Thursday against the Rex.
Yeah, best of luck to the Paints. It's been high-level baseball that they've given the area for quite some time now. Always a highlight of the summer. Look forward to that.
Handful of local guys. I believe Uniota's Micah Geisy on the Paints roster this season.
Terrific player. Terrific player.
I believe a couple of years ago, Shane, you had a former player pitch in relief for a couple of games for the Paints as well. Also, Brock Blanton made a couple appearances last season.
Yeah, Cruz McFadden and Brock Blanton both have thrown. It gives a great opportunity for some of our local guys that are playing at the college level to continue to play during the summer.
1 ball and 1 strike to the left fielder, Cody Bell. Nobody out. 1 man aboard for Lynchburg here in the 5th.
Showed a little bunt earlier there in the count. Might have just been seeing how the defense would react.
Again, Bell showing bunt, pulls back, no offering. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Looks like Piketon's going to come hard from the third base side. Hannah kind of wait and see.
2-1 on the way, a bunt from Bell. Fielded by Oliver on to first, one away. Niehaus up to second.
Good baseball the way around. Good bunt to get the guy over. Good job of Oliver fielding his position and making sure of the out. Both teams kind of get what they want there. And now Lynchburg, base hit away from maybe adding a huge insurance run. But at the same time, Piketon stays in the inning now with one out. Got you an opportunity to pitch yourself out of a jam here.
Tanner Roberts' first pitch swinging popped up to shallow right center. Wilson calls it off and brings it in, 2 away.
Yeah, Oliver stayed stubborn at the top of the zone, and again, when Lynchburg's been able to lay off that pitch, they've been successful getting ahead in the count. When you chase it up there, Dewey, it's just so hard to get on top of it. Chances are you're going to hit it straight up in the air, and we've highlighted the fly ball defense, particularly the outfield fly ball defense of Piketon throughout the day. And now with 2 outs, great opportunity for Oliver to dodge the bullet.
Now the left-hitting catcher, Elam Faust.
Great job by Roberts to go get that ball right there. Keep the guy at second base.
Niehaus takes off from second, not even a throw from Roberts as Niehaus advances up to third.
Yeah, Lynchburg's been able to really pick on that long delivery from Oliver.
Two balls and 1 strike to Faust. And Shane, in a game like this afternoon's maybe not quite as high scoring as many people maybe anticipated going on, how important is it for a team to just play for that 1 run?
Well, this deep in the game, I think strategy changes. I think Lynchburg has to sense how important that second run would be. And now what the situation is, you're 3-1, and you've got Burns over here on deck. This has to be a time where Oliver's got to get really aggressive in the zone. You know Piketon does not want to see Burns come to the plate in this situation.
Oliver comes home with the 3-1. Misses down low. Runners on the corners with 2 outs, back to the top of the lineup for the Mustangs. Third time through, starting with Josiah Burns.
Coach Teeter's going to go to the mound here, and I think he may go to the lefty. Such a hard decision because Oliver's been terrific, but as you come back to the top of the order a third time, I'm sure with matchup-wise and the ability from Hannah from the left side, but yeah, Piketon fans showing some appreciation for Braden Oliver, as they should. He was terrific today. Now he's going to look to see if his buddy can get him out of this 2-out pickle.
4 2/3 innings of 1-run baseball tossed by Braylon Oliver. It'll be Zach Hanna for the Redstreaks when we return here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2 outs. Runners on the corners. It's 1-0. Lynchburg leading Piketon. Pitching change for the Redstreaks. Zach Hanna will come in and try to keep the deficit for Piketon at 1 run once again here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The winner moving on to the district final this Thursday. They'll have the winner of Portsmouth and Northwest. That game will be brought to you live here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. As of now, slated for a 6:30 start time, so a little over an hour. But as we know, baseball games can run long, weather can come in, so all of the scheduling subject to change. But Shane, a big spot for Zach Hanna here in the 5th.
Well, there's all sorts of fun baseball stuff going on here. Coach Teeters, as they turn the order over the 3rd time, going to go to the relief to his first team all-district. Zach Hanna going to get left on left. If you're Lynchburg, you got to decide how you want to handle the 1st and 3rd right here with the lefty on the mound. You don't want to make a base running mistake. You certainly would like to move him up and get that force out of play, but you don't want to do anything, take the bat out of your talented leadoff hitter. So, again, a lot of different strategical things going to happen here on this first pitch. Nonetheless, if you're Hanna, you'd love to get ahead of him and throw a first pitch strike.
13th appearance of the season for Zach Hanna. 44 innings pitched, a 3.5 ERA, 35 strikeouts.
He does work ahead, runner not going anywhere. Let's see if that changes here into the 2nd pitch. Again, with the lefty move, you want to make sure you don't make a base running mistake here.
Burns 1 for 1 today with a walk. Hanna just misses the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, good pitch there, just misses. Obviously, you can sense in the crowd how big a moment in the game this is. They're kind of hanging on each pitch.
And a delayed steal, throw to second, coming home from 3rd is Niehaus. He will score. That'll make it a 2-0 game.
Lynchburg will certainly take that.
Faust will be picked off of first base, but nonetheless, the run will count. And that goes back to what we were talking about, Shane, just how important that insurance run was.
No question, and you get the leadoff guy leading off the next inning, so it sets up perfect for Lynchburg to add the insurance run.
So 2-0 after 5. Lynchburg leads Piketon. 3-4-5 do it for the Redstreaks. When we return, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Yeah, because from an innings pitch standpoint, he would. Now, obviously, if that would have happened before he even threw a pitch, it wouldn't hurt his pitch count.
2-0, Lynchburg-Clay leading Piketon. The Mustangs getting crafty and getting a little sneaky in the bottom of the 5th inning to extend their lead to 2. Shane, something I wanted to talk about. We saw Zach Hanna come in to face Josiah Burns, that left-on-left matchup. How often at the high school level do you hear players complain about that left-on-left or right-on-right matchup? Is it as quite as prevalent at the high school level as maybe in the college or MLB level?
Well, certainly not in small school baseball, more into the Division 5, 6, 7, simply because you don't have as many left-handed hitters, you don't have as many left-handed arms. I would say in that spot there, Coach Teeters, Piketon has some pretty good depth in their pitching. I would say in that case that Hanna would be someone he would go to in that situation regardless who was up, but because it was a lefty, it probably made a lot of sense, and obviously Lynchburg-Clay able to do some things with the run game there to create some offense.
So Braden West to kick off his 6th inning of work. Six innings of 2-hit, 0-run baseball. It looks like Elam Faust having some equipment troubles. It's Braden West working overtime to correct his catcher's equipment.
Two things for the fans to look at here. One, obviously Piketon's down to 6 outs. They need to go because they need to score. The other thing is they need to be able to move the line a little bit in their lineup, or their top of the order could get shut out of another opportunity as you look into the final 2 innings of this game. So big time at bats here for the 3, 4, 5 in this particular inning to give Piketon as many chances as possible to get some of their top hitters up.
Yeah, as of now, the Redstreaks only guaranteed to get through their 8-hole.
Correct. Now, in fairness to them, some of the Piketon bottom of the order has been just as productive in terms of creating some chaos on the bases and some RBI spots.
So far, Shane, their bottom 3 have reached base safely 3 out of 6 times. 2 walks and a single. (1-0) chopped foul. So far this afternoon, Richie 0 for 2 with a strikeout back in the 3rd. (1-1) from West. West now up to 77 pitches. He does have 3 complete game shutouts on the season. 1-2 grounded left side, but foul.
Piketon's been pretty good with 2 strikes in terms of winning some pitches here, but been real impressed with West and his overall command. Been able to pitch himself in and out of trouble in two different innings, and other than that, pretty much been in control.
1-2 pitch popped up. Shallow right field. Faust backtracking and brings it in, 1 away.
Yeah, big lead man there for West to record that out. Piketon down to 5 outs now.
Now the cleanup man, catcher Grayson Roberts. Roberts 0 for 2. He's grounded and flown out. Always love to see the Portsmouth uniforms as they roll in for game 2 here this afternoon. The powder blue throwback, the old Phillies logo as well.
Oh, yeah, that catches your attention.
(1-2) on the way from West. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Yeah, got him to chase, ball up and away, and good location. Again, that's the advantage of being ahead in the count. You're able to stretch the zone a little bit, and the anxious hitter unable to lay off of it. And West maybe getting a little stronger as we go here.
8th strikeout this afternoon for West. He's up to 57 on the season. Now the right fielder, Wade Fout.
Again, you sense late game situation. West, the senior, getting really aggressive in the zone, coming right at hitters. Again, he finds himself ahead. That's really been the story. The couple innings, he got himself in trouble, worked behind in the count a little bit more.
1-2 in there, called strike 3. 2 Ks in the inning for West. 9 on the afternoon for the senior. Burns West Wells, the due up 1-2-3 for the Mustangs in the bottom half of the 6th. Lynchburg leads Piketon 2-0 here in Chillicothe. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here in Chillicothe, it's 2-0 Lynchburg out in front of Piketon. 1-2-3, the due up for the Mustangs. Josiah Burns, Braden West, and Cole Wells. Josiah Burns has been a dangerous leadoff man. He's been aboard twice, walk in the first, and a double in the 4th. He came all the way around to score in that 4th inning to give Lynchburg-Clay what was a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, big opportunity for Lynchburg to continue to play some add-on here. Top of the order. Burns has been really good today. And if you're Piketon, you know it's going to be an uphill task. Down 2-0, certainly can't give another. Shout out to Coach Lewis of Paint Valley. He's a Lynchburg alum, listening in today, trying to get his Mustangs into the district championship.
Zach Hanna back onto the mound for the Redstreaks. Finished up the 5th with that final third of the inning. Braylon Oliver currently in line for the loss, but that's definitely not a testament to the effort he brought to the baseball field today. 4 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. And again, Piketon has a lot of depth to their pitching staff. To be honest, coming into today, I wasn't sure exactly which way Coach Teeters would go because he has 3 or 4 different options. And yeah, I thought Braden Oliver threw the ball real well.
3-0 finds the zone, 3-1. (3-1) popped up. Roberts takes the mask off, but this one is into the netting. Full count, 3-2.
Yeah, big pitch here, 3-2. Don't want to lose him because he's been a threat to run all day. Yeah, Lynchburg did a nice job with its run game to create that run last inning, but I think the baseball fan in me would have loved to have seen this matchup in that RBI spot. Good on good right here. The left-on-left matchup.
Still a misty rain here in Chillicothe. It's been consistent all afternoon. Payoff from Hanna just off the outside corner. A leadoff walk for Burns. Aboard for the 3rd time this afternoon.
Yeah, good pitch. Just missed right off the outer half. And see, with the lefty on the mound, if Burns can get a read, he's been pretty aggressive to this point on the base pass. 3 stolen bases to this point.
Now Braden West. He squares around a bunt perfectly down the first base line. Charging it is Hanna, who makes the nice play to flip it over to first base. Braylon Oliver doing a great job to get back to the bag, 1 away.
Well, that was a really athletic play by Hanna. He had to come a long way to get that ball, and then on the wet turf, had to go down with the bare hand. Good concentration to record the out. Now, with the lefty on the mound. Let's take a look at Burns on second. It might be the thought process of bunting him over so that he can steal third. So that's something he's already been able to do twice. So Piketon's going to have to be aware.
So the Redstreaks will intentionally walk Cole Wells in the RBI opportunity. That'll bring up the first baseman, Christian Flowers.
Makes total sense at this point in the game. Bottom of the sixth. It's one of those things where you're trying to keep it from going 3-0. At that point, 3-0, 4-0, it probably would feel a lot of the same. So if you're Piketon, you're doing everything strategically to try to post a 0 and keep this a 2-0 ball game.
And if you're a big statistics guy, you kind of start to look at the numbers. Cole Wells hitting .618. He's 0 for 2 today, so he's almost due for a knock.
Yeah, so the analytic people will tell you he's automatically going to rip one to the guy.
Austin Bell off the bench to pinch run for Wells over at first base. Hannah comes home with the opening offer. This one skied down the left field line. Blanton giving chase. This one is off the party deck and foul. Loud strike number 1.
You've said it, the Piketon defense hasn't really been tested on a ground ball all day, really, other than a couple bunts maybe. Boy, would this be a time to get a ground ball.
0-1 to Flowers. Both runners take off. Roberts can't handle it at the plate. A successful double steal for the Mustangs.
Well, that changes the entire inning, and that's what's been impressive about Lynchburg. You come in with the record they have, it tells you that they can win in a lot of different ways. You can see it with their pitching. You can see it with the pop in their bat. Piketon's controlled that to this point today, but their speed has been a big factor.
Infield in for Piketon. 1-1 upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike to Christian Flowers.
Down to 2-2 count. Big time for a strikeout if you're Piketon. If you're Lynchburg, you're trying to do anything and everything to get this ball in play and give the speed a chance to score.
6, 7, 8 due up at the top of the 7th inning for Piketon. 2-2 on the way from Hannah. And it gets past the catcher, Roberts. Streaking in from third is Burns, and it's 3-0. Lynchburg-Clay leading Piketon.
Yeah, it's been now 2 of the 3 runs a result of the ball coming to the screen, and the third one there on the double steal where they create the put the pressure on Piketon. So again, it's just been the run game and some of the speed putting the pressure on the Piketon defense.
I believe it was Burns the first time who came around on the pass ball as well, so both times for him.
Yeah, that was the double and then the steal of third, and then you're right.
3 runs for the Mustangs, still not an RBI. Just 4 hits between the 2 teams total. Payoff pitch from Hannah. And this one gets past the catcher as well. Now Bell will streak home, and it's 4-0. Flowers will look to make it a 2-bagger. Throw down to second is not in time.
Hustling right out of the box, never stopped. Big ballpark. We talked about the dimensions here, throwing that ball all the way from the screen. And Coach Teeter's going to go out and talk to Hannah here. Try not to let this thing get any further away from it.
Coach Teeter's out of the dugout. It looks like he's going to go with Wade Fout. Actually, looks like he's going to go with Mason Roberts. Fout will come into play third base. So a pitching change here in the 6th inning for the Redstreaks as they trail 4-0. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
So the complete switch for the Redstreaks. Mason Roberts moves from third base to pinch. Wade Fount comes in from right to play third, and Kendon Day, formerly the designated hitter, comes off the bench defensively to play in right field.
Yeah, Hannah back over to first base where he started the game. And, you know, Mason has been someone that has thrown quite a bit for Coach Teeters. As I said, they really have 3-4 guys that pretty balanced in their rotation.
Appearance number 11 on the season for Mason Roberts. 37 innings pitched with a 4.35 ERA. 25 strikeouts as well. So the freshman third baseman Quinn Wells strides in. His rookie seeding hitting .456. Hitless so far today. Wells squares around to bunt this one up the first base line. He'll be tagged out. Flowers will move to third, 2 away.
Nice job by Hannah. Had to make a quick decision there. At first, I thought that ball had a little English, that maybe by the time it would reach the bag would go foul, but that'd be quite a risk to take. So Hannah had to make a quick decision and made one. We always say, when in doubt, take the out. He records the second out of the inning and gives Roberts and company a chance to get out of the inning.
The right fielder, Trevor Niehaus, he's 0 for 1 with a walk. Did come around to score in the 5th inning. Hitters count now for Niehaus. 2 balls and no strikes.
Been impressed with Niehaus. Just approach at the plate throughout the day. Does a good job understanding the strike zone. Doesn't stretch the zone too much. And just a great compliment to some of the different types of hitters that Coach Flowers can put on that lineup card up and down the order.
Low and away. 4-pitch walk. Runners on the corners with 2 down for Lynchburg.
Well, again, Lynchburg just keeps coming at you here. They're probably going to be able to start the runner. Again, you're in one of those first and third situations. You got to be careful if you're Piketon.
Now the senior Cody Bell. Bell, one of the many multi-sport athletes on this Lynchburg team, averaged 8.9 points per game during the winter sports season as a member of the Mustangs boys basketball team, the third leading scorer for Lynchburg. Head coach Cal Pertusit, that was his first season as the head coach down in Lynchburg.
Niehaus does take second there in the first and third situation.
One from Roberts, ground ball left side, gets through for a base hit. Flowers scores, Niehaus around third, relay in from left, no throw to the plate. It's 6-0 Lynchburg.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to the Mustangs. They stayed with it offensively today. It was a slow start for them. The big play from big play in the first inning, with the big throw to gun down the guy at the plate from Wilson on the double play. They just stay with it. They finally get a run there in the middle innings, and then they're able to add on, and then now here in the sixth, blow it open a little bit.
First 2 RBIs of the game for Cody Bell. Bell takes off from first. Throw down from Roberts is not in time. I believe the previous 4 runs, Shane, have been the result of a pass ball, or as we saw the double steal back in the 5th inning.
Yeah, the run game has played a big factor in the Lynchburg offense today because, again, that was just the 3rd hit of the day, correct, for Lynchburg. So throughout the day, it's been their ability to maximize their base runners and do some things with their speed.
Two-one count to Tanner Roberts. 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. Two outs, runner in scoring position. Here's the 2-1, runner off from second base, hit and run for Lynchburg. This one up the third base line and foul.
Yeah, Mustangs continue to be really aggressive. Getting some really good reads on the Piketon pitching staff.
Eli Williams down to the Redstreak bullpen, so we'll see if he makes an appearance here in the 6th inning. Two balls and 2 strikes to Tanner Roberts. 2-2 fouled away.
Good pitch and a good piece of 2-strike hitting there from Roberts. Just throws the bat out a little bit.
Two from Roberts, left side, off the runner of Cody Bell, so that'll be the 3rd out. Unconventional, but that'll end the inning.
It's a base hit for that young man, but not that helps his team, man.
Redstreaks need some runs, a half dozen of them. As they trail by 6, top of the 7th. Here in Chillicothe, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Hits a batter, it's a hit.
Yeah, if it hits the runner.
Top of the 7th, back here in Chillicothe. Braden West will look for his 4th complete game shutout of the season. 6-7-8 due up for Piketon.
Yeah, he's been really good today. Like I said, there's 2 different times on my notes here where I felt like Piketon had a legitimate shot to really get to him, unable to come up with the big hit. Other than that, he's been terrific, working out in front, been very efficient. And then as so many guys, especially the older they get, Dewey, it seems like the further along into the game, the stronger they get. Didn't you feel like right around 5th, 6th inning, I felt like he started to throw with a little bit more giddy up on the fastball, and he's just been really sharp now 3 outs away.
Really, outside of that 4th inning where the Redstreaks had the bases loaded, there hasn't been a lot of offensive response for the Redstreaks.
Yeah, they so much of Piketon's game plan coming in is the ability to bunt the baseball, move some guys. They really only had one early base runner. Remember when they tried to bunt, that was the one that they weren't sure if it was on the ground or in the air. Nonetheless, didn't want to bunt it in the middle. And other than that, they just haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to put the ball on the ground and put some pressure on Lynchburg's defense.
Roberts, Day, and Botnicker the due-up for Piketon here in the visiting half of the 7th inning. It's Braden West looking to send his Mustangs to the district final this Thursday.
Yeah, if you're Piketon, it's one of those things we always say, we don't play a time sport. You're going to get your outs here, so you want to continue to compete, grind your bats, don't give away ABs. Try to get base runners, try to continue to compete.
Pitch number 90 for West, a called strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Out of the windup, West comes home. Low and away. One-two pitch, swing and a miss. Make that 10 on the afternoon for West.
Yeah, I'd say almost half of those have been here in probably the last, 7 or 8 outs. It just seems like he continues to get stronger and stronger.
4 of the last 9. Or 4 of the last 7, rather. West, another one of those multi-sport athletes for the spring, a first-team all-district selection. However, in the fall, did lead the Mustangs boys soccer team with 15 goals and 34 total points.
You know, it is interesting in the Shack where, without the football programs, you get some soccer, you obviously get the basketball there, and you just get a different makeup of athlete, and like anything, when you get special teams like this, you get special athletes who usually are going to do it in 2 or 3 different programs.
0-1 upstairs, a called strike, 0-2.
Very complete team. As I get a chance to see them in person, coaching against them as they were younger the last couple of years, they've really continued to develop and they've become more complete. What's impressed me as I watch them, I could see where they could win a lot of different types of games. I could see where they could go out and score 10, 11 runs pretty easy. I could see where they beat you 1-0. They pitch really well. Their catcher's outstanding. Good team speed.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 11 Ks, that'd be pizza in Cincinnati. 2 down here in the 7th.
Lynchburg will obviously be a tough opponent come, Thursday, because now they'll have an elite arm awaiting the winner of Portsmouth and Northwest.
You look at the stats for Cole Wells at the high school level, it's almost video game numbers. 7 appearances, 37 2/3 innings pitched, 7-0 record, has not given up an earned run. I believe that caught the shoulder of a player over there, maybe the barricade. Screamer over to the first base dugout. But Wells not even averaging half a walker hit per inning, 77 strikeouts and pretty much 38 innings pitched, along with the .618 batting average. 1-2 chopped right side and foul.
Yeah, and it really does set the Mustangs up well on Thursday. You're putting that type of arm out there, and I feel like their offense will respond a little bit more. Because like I said, I thought today was somewhat of a slow day for their offense. Give a lot of credit to Oliver and the Piketon defense, particularly that outfield defense I thought was really, really good throughout the majority of the game.
1-2 chopped right side off the bag at first as Flowers flips it to West, running to cover the bag, and the Mustangs are moving on.
Fitting that the ball would end up in West's hands there on the cover. He was outstanding today, start to finish, just gives up the 2 hits and really got stronger as the day went on and overpowered the Piketon offense.
6-0 the final here in Chillicothe. Lynchburg-Clay moving on to this Thursday's district final. Down at Athens at Bob Wren Stadium. 7 p.m. first pitch between the winner of our next game. Stay tuned. It'll be live here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. Originally slated for a 6:30 start time, could be a bit later. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel as the stream will start up about 20 minutes before the first pitch. It's Portsmouth and Northwest, both teams looking to punch their ticket to the district final this Thursday. We'll take a break. You've been watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here in Chillicothe, a 6-0 final as Lynchburg-Clay advances in the district tournament, taking down Piketon. I'll quickly go over the box score, Shane, and then we can wrap it up with some final thoughts about Game 1 here this afternoon in Chillicothe. So we'll start with the winning team, the Lynchburg-Clay Mustangs. What an outing it was for Braden West, his 4th complete game shutout of the season. The senior goes 7 innings of 2-hit baseball, no runs, 11 strikeouts. At the dish, Josiah Burns goes 1 for 1, did walk twice, scored twice, had that loud leadoff double back in the 4th inning. And for a second, I thought that might leave the yard, but it's raining and it's about 3:30 down the line, so it's a little more difficult here at the VA. Cole Wells goes 0 for 2, did have a run scored. Austin Bell also came into pinch run for Wells after that intentional walk. He came around to score. Christian Flowers goes 1 for 2 with a run scored. Trevor Newhouse 0 for 1, but did walk twice and scored both times. Cody Bell 1 for 2, had that 2 RBI single in the 6th inning. And then Tanner Roberts goes 1 for 2 to round out the order for the Mustangs. For Piketon, not a whole lot offensively. Wade Fount goes 1 for 3. Kendon Day goes 0 for 1, did walk twice, so he got on board 2 out of 3 times to the plate. And Gavin Blanton goes 1 for 2, did not get to bat a third time. As you're not guaranteed that, only 7 innings of baseball guaranteed at the high school level. Unfortunately, Braylon Oliver is carded with the loss. He goes 4 2/3 of 2-hit, 2-run baseball, had 3 strikeouts, but absolutely pitched the gem in the time he was on the mound.
Yeah, he really did. I thought Burns at the top of the Lynchburg lineup was key. He sparked them a little bit when they really needed it in the middle innings. They were able to score first, and then with the way West was throwing, it was going to make it really tough on Piketon. Piketon had the one opportunity. I thought they had a couple other opportunities where they didn't execute quite the way they would want to, but West was able to dodge a bullet there with the bases loaded situation. And then, once his team put that second run on the board, he just locked in and really started to get tough over the final 9 outs and kind of overpowered Piketon from there a little bit. But all in all, I thought Piketon competed well early in the game. If they were able to put that run on the board first, maybe it's a different story. But once Lynchburg was able to add the insurance run, I thought they were able to put them away. And I think this Lynchburg team's complete. I think they're going to be a really tough out come the district championship round on Thursday.
Yeah, you said it, Shane. The Redstreaks stranded 6, 3 of them in scoring position. So the opportunities, especially there, and I believe the third inning was where, or actually the fourth inning, they threatened heavily with the bases loaded, just unable to bring the run home to score. Different day, maybe the ball rolls a different way. You never know with baseball.
Well, and the other key stat is, Piketon struggled to get the leadoff man on base throughout the day. I think it only happened one time in the game, and that really takes away a little bit of their small ball. Piketon's known for handling the bat at 5-6 different spots in the order where they can really bunt it. They can run a little bit, and I thought West, his ability to retire the leadoff guy throughout the day, work ahead in the count, really was really able to control. And then let's not forget to mention Lynchburg's speed. Their ability, they didn't really hit the baseball with a whole lot of authority till that final inning. Most of what they did throughout the day was as a result of the speed led by Burns and a couple other people being aggressive on the base pass.
6-0 the final for Game 1 here in Chillicothe. Lynchburg-Clay moving on to this Thursday's district final. Down in Athens, 7 p.m. first pitch. They'll have the winner of Game 2 of our doubleheader here on the YouTube channel this evening with Portsmouth and Northwest. Originally slated for 6:30, I would venture to say a little closer to 6:45. Maybe
I think that's
even
what he just announced.
6:45 start time here in Chillicothe. So about 35 minutes before Game 2. Stick around. Shane and I will have that one brought to you live here on the YouTube channel as well. But for Game 1, that'll wrap up our coverage of Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball. For Shane Combs, I'm Dewey Daly saying so long from VA Memorial Stadium. You've been watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.